You've been misled. You were taught that rest is a reward, a soft landing after a hard day, a luxury you earn by burning yourself out. But here's the truth. The people who treat rest like an afterthought are the ones always chasing energy they never seem to find. The people who seem unstoppable, the ones who lead teams, build empires, run marathons in their sleep, they don't treat rest like surrender. They treat it like strategy. Because real rest, strategic rest, isn't passive. It's performance enhancing. It doesn't just help you recover, it upgrades your capacity, it sharpens your focus, extends your energy, amplifies your results. You've been taught to see rest as the opposite of productivity. But that's like saying silence is the opposite of music. Silence is what makes the music breathe. The most dangerous people, the ones who move with power, clarity, calm, they don't rest to escape work. They rest to dominate it. Section 1. Why you're still tired after 8 hours of sleep. You followed the rules. 8 hours of sleep, just like they said. And yet, you still wake up feeling wrecked, groggy, heavy, behind before the day even starts. That's not laziness. That's bad data. Because sleep isn't just about how long you rest, it's about how you rest. Sleep quality beats sleep quantity. Every time. Your body sleeps in 90-minute cycles, light sleep, deep sleep, REM, looping like clockwork. Wake up at the wrong point in the cycle? You'll feel like you got hit by a truck, no matter how many hours you clocked. Think of it like practice. 8 hours of bad practice doesn't make you better. It just makes your bad habits stronger. Elite performers know this. They don't chase more sleep, they design better sleep. Because one cycle of clean, uninterrupted sleep does more for your brain than 3 cycles filled with micro-awakenings and blue light disruption. The truth is, your sleep architecture, your environment, routine, and rhythm matters more than your bedtime. Your nervous system craves consistency. Same wake time. Cool, dark room. No screens before bed. A short wind-down ritual that signals, it's safe to shut down now. When you optimize this architecture, you stop waking up tired. You start waking up ready. The dangerous rester doesn't count hours. They engineer cycles. Because recovery isn't measured by duration, it's measured by precision. Section 2. The 13% secret. Here's something small that changes everything. 30 seconds. That's all it takes to boost your focus by 13% and cut your mental fatigue in half. Not a nap. Not a long walk. Just 30 seconds of the right kind of pause, but here's the trick. Most people take breaks wrong. They press pause like they're freezing a screen, but their brain is still in the scene. Still running, still scrolling, still caught in the loop. Strategic resters and the dangerous ones take breaks like they're switching channels. They don't just pause, they reset. This is called attention restoration. Your brain has 2 gears, focused attention and effortless attention. You use focused attention to work, but effortless attention, that's how you restore. And it activates in quiet moments. When you stare out a window, when you listen to nature, when you breathe deeply and do nothing but be. Here's the protocol. Every 25 minutes, take 30 seconds to stop. Not scroll, not snack. Stop, look away, breathe deep, let your mind drift. In those micro moments, your brain isn't just resting, it's rebooting. Your creativity center switches on, your focus resets. And when you return to work, you're not crawling through fog. You're flying through clarity. This isn't time lost. It's energy gained. This is cognitive engineering. Not harder work, but smarter cycles. Not pushing through, but pulling back, so you can spring forward. Section 3. Your brain's hidden reset button. Your brain is speaking to you. Most people never learn to listen. Every 90 to 120 minutes, it sends a signal. A subtle drop in focus, a flicker of restlessness, a wandering mind. Not because you're broken, but because your system is cycling. These are ultradian rhythms, natural waves of peak and dip, effort and ease. And if you ignore them, you swim against the current. You grind through mud. You burn energy you don't have just to stay afloat. But when you sync with them, everything shifts. You stop forcing focus during low states. You stop resenting the fog and start respecting the rhythm. Because here's what most don't realize. Your low focus moments aren't failures. They're integration. That's when your brain processes, connects, files away. It's doing the deep work behind the work. Section 4. The 7 dimensions of strategic rest. You think you're resting, but if you're still exhausted, you're probably missing something. Because rest isn't just sleep. That's like saying nutrition is just protein, and ignoring water, fiber, and essential vitamins. There are 7 types of rest your body and mind crave, and most people are only feeding one. Physical rest is the obvious one. Sleep, naps, stretching, massage. But what about mental rest? Creating actual space between tasks. Letting your mind breathe instead of bouncing from one tab to the next. Then there's sensory rest, quieting the noise, the lights, the endless digital pulse. Your nervous system was never built for this much input. Emotional rest means putting down the mask. Not managing other people's feelings, not performing, just being. Social rest isn't isolation, and it's discernment. Choosing relationships that refill instead of drain. Creative rest means beauty, wonder, inspiration. Letting your imagination touch something vast, art, nature, music, and come back renewed. And then there's spiritual rest, the kind that reconnects you to meaning, to something bigger, to something still. Each type of rest is a fuel. Each engine in your life runs on a different one. The dangerous rester doesn't guess what they need, they diagnose. Foggy mind, that's mental rest. Emotional exhaustion, you don't need another podcast, you need quiet. Disconnection, you might need nature, or truth, or awe. This is precision recovery. This is rest as strategy. And when you match the right kind of rest to the actual kind of depletion, you don't just recharge, you regenerate. Section 5. Active recovery. The elite secret. Here's a paradox. Elite athletes often train less than the amateurs chasing them. The difference isn't just in how they train, it's in how they recover. Because the average person hears rest and thinks stop everything. Elite performers hear rest and think active recovery. Active recovery isn't collapse. It's movement with purpose. It's a walk after hours of sitting. Gentle yoga after intense mental work. Creative play after a day of analytics. It's cross-training for your brain. Switching systems so the overused ones can rebuild while the others stay engaged. If you've been in back-to-back meetings all day, active recovery might be a solo project that draws on your focus instead of your social energy. If you've been coding for hours, it might be a bike ride or cooking dinner with your hands. The magic isn't just in stopping the depletion, it's in feeding what's empty without starving what's full. This is how high performers seem to have endless stamina. They're not superhuman, they're strategic. They don't waste recovery time, they invest it. And when the next challenge hits, they're not crawling back to baseline, they're already at peak. Section 6. Flow state protection. Here's the most counterintuitive thing you'll hear today. The best way to protect a flow state is to interrupt it. Most people treat flow like a rare animal. If it shows up, you hold on until it bolts. You ride it until you crash. But flow isn't endless. It's a high-performance engine. And if you redline it, you burn it out. Elite performers know this. They maintain flow with micro-recoveries, 30 seconds to 2 minutes. Not to escape the state, but to sustain it. Close your eyes, stand up. Stretch your hands, breathe deeply and reset your posture. Something so small it feels almost ridiculous. But those micro-recoveries act like pit stops. They refuel your focus before the tank runs dry. They keep creativity sharp before it dulls. Instead of riding the wave until it crashes, you're surfing it. Adjusting, rebalancing, extending the ride. The dangerous rester doesn't just find flow, they hold it. They can stay in it for hours, not minutes. Because performance isn't just about reaching your peak. It's about staying there long enough to change the game. Section 7. The productivity paradox. The most productive thing you could do right now might be nothing at all. Sounds wrong, right? Because we've been trained to think that more hours means more output. But your brain doesn't work like that. Performance isn't a straight line. It's a curve. Without breaks, that curve dips, focus blurs, mistakes multiply, and you work twice as hard for half as much. Strategic breaks reset the curve. They don't cost time, they compound it. 1 hour at full capacity can be worth 4 hours of dragging your feet. This is the productivity paradox. When you stop, you go further. When you rest, you work better. High performers know this isn't laziness, it's leverage. They measure success by impact, not hours logged. They optimize for quality, not just quantity. So while your colleagues brag about late nights and early mornings, you're working fewer hours and delivering results that feel impossible to them because you've stopped fighting biology and started using it. Section 8, Digital Detox, without the drama. You don't have to throw your phone in a lake to reclaim your mind. The problem isn't technology itself, it's how relentlessly it occupies your attention. Most digital detox advice sounds extreme. Disappear for a week, delete all your apps, live off-grid. But that's not realistic in a connected world. The dangerous rester takes a different path. Strategic digital rest. Not rejection, regulation. Start with notification fasting. Windows of time when nothing pings, vibrates, or flashes at you. Your brain needs uninterrupted stretches to recover. Constant alerts keep you in a low-level fight-or-flight state. Create tech-free zones in your home. Places where your nervous system knows instinctively, I can relax here. The contrast between connected and disconnected states is what allows your mind to downshift, and most importantly, mindful re-entry. When you come back online, do it with intention. Ask, why am I picking this up? Have a reason. Complete that reason, then step away again. This way, you keep the benefits of technology, the reach, the knowledge, the connection, without the constant drain. You're not anti-tech, you're pro-control. And that makes you dangerous in a world where most people have surrendered theirs. Section 9, Building your rest architecture. Most people treat rest like an afterthought. They grab it when they can and wonder why it never feels like enough. The dangerous rester doesn't leave it to chance. They engineer it. Physical architecture comes first. Your environment should invite rest, not compete with it. Cool, dark bedrooms. Lighting that follows your circadian rhythm. Spaces that separate work from restoration. Then comes temporal architecture. Building your schedule to work with your energy, not against it. High-focus work during peak hours. Transitions protected like appointments. Buffers around rest so it can actually happen. And finally, social architecture. Curating the people who share your space and your energy. Some interactions fill you, others drain you. The dangerous rester is strategic about both. Rituals tie it all together. The small, repeatable signals that tell your nervous system, it's safe to power down now. A cup of tea, a walk at sunset, a song that marks the end of the day. When your rest architecture is in place, recovery becomes automatic. You're not trying to remember to rest. You're living inside systems that make it inevitable. Section 10, Becoming dangerously well-rested. When you master rest, you don't just feel better. You operate on a level that feels unreal to everyone else. The dangerous rester isn't running on fumes. They're running on premium fuel every day. While others grind themselves into the ground, you move through your work with precision, calm, and clarity. You recover faster, you think sharper, you sustain your best work for longer. It's not because you work less, it's because you recover so well that your work feels effortless. You've learned to read your own energy like an elite athlete reads their body. You know which type of rest you need and when. You know how to protect flow, how to design recovery, how to engineer peak performance instead of hoping for it. Your friends wonder how you have so much energy. Your colleagues wonder how you stay so calm under pressure. Your competition wonders how you're still going when they've burned out. The secret is simple. You've made rest a skill, not an accident, not a reward, a competitive advantage. You've learned to rest so well, it makes you dangerous. Welcome to a new level of performance. Welcome to being dangerously well rested.